Breaking news. A major warning has just been issued that could affect more than 4.3 million Australians approaching retirement. If you're planning to rely on the Centrelink age pension, experts say you might be in for a very unpleasant surprise. The age pension, once considered a safety net for older Australians, is now being called a superannuation nightmare by financial experts, and the harsh reality of retirement is starting to hit home for many. Pascal Hellier-Murray, a superannuation literacy expert, is sounding the alarm. She warns that depending solely on the age pension in your twilight years could mean living a life far rougher than you ever imagined. A recent survey by Finder shows just how deep this concern runs. Around 65% of people said they would apply for the age pension if they couldn't make ends meet, but as Hellier-Murray explains, qualifying isn't as simple as many think. There's a widespread assumption that the age pension is available to everyone once they reach a certain age, but the truth is far more complex. Before you can access the payment, Services Australia will assess both your income and your assets, and the limits are strict. If you're single and earn up to $218 per fortnight, you're fine. But earn more than that, and your pension starts to reduce. For every dollar you earn over the limit, your pension drops by 50 cents. Couples have a slightly higher threshold of $380 per fortnight, but the same rules apply reduced payments for higher income. The income cap is also surprisingly low. If you're a single person earning more than $2,516 per fortnight, or a couple bringing in more than $3,844, you won't receive anything at all from the age pension. But it's not just income that's assessed, your assets also count. And that's where many retirees get caught out. Assets that are included in the test range from financial investments and real estate to personal items like your car, your home contents, and even superannuation pensions. If you own a small business or have a trust, that also factors in. A single homeowner can only have $321,500 in assets to qualify for a full pension. If you're renting, the limit rises to $579,500. Couples who own a home must keep their combined assets under $481,500 for a full pension, or under $739,500 if they rent. If your assets go above that, you might still qualify for a part pension, but even those limits are capped. A single homeowner can't exceed $704,500 in total assets for a part pension. Couples renting can go up to $1.317 million. But remember, many of these people are still struggling due to inflation and rising living costs. One important detail: your primary place of residence, including up to 2 hectares of land, is excluded from the asset test. That said, people with expensive homes but no income, often referred to as asset-rich, cash poor, are finding it extremely difficult to get enough support. Hellier-Murray says this is where things can get really tough. Many people enter retirement with the hope that the pension will be enough to live on. But the actual amount may come as a shock. The current maximum payment for a single person is $1,149 per fortnight. That's just under $575 per week. If you're part of a couple, you'll each receive $866.10 before tax. That's right, the age pension is taxable. Centrelink doesn't automatically deduct tax, so unless you arrange for that to happen, you could end up with a tax debt when the financial year ends. Now think about this. Trying to survive on $574.50 a week, especially in Australia's current cost of living crisis, isn't easy. Rent, groceries, medical expenses, electricity, it adds up fast. For those who've paid off their homes, there might be a bit more breathing room. But not everyone is that lucky. In fact, the number of retirees still paying off a mortgage has tripled in the last 20 years. Over 200,000 older Australians are renting, and 67,000 of them are already living in poverty. So what can you do to avoid this nightmare? The first step, according to Hellier-Murray, is to stop treating your superannuation like a set-and-forget fund. You need to know exactly how much is in your super, where it's invested, and whether it's performing well. Ideally, your super fund should have high returns and low fees. That's the golden rule. Another powerful strategy is to make personal contributions to your super while you're still working. Even a small weekly amount can grow into something substantial. Let's say you have $60,000 in your super today. If you added just $10 per week, and it grew at 9% annually with monthly compounding, you'd have over $319,000 more in 20 years. And don't forget, employers are now legally required to contribute 12% of your salary into your super fund. But if you can, add more yourself through salary sacrifice or voluntary top-ups. The earlier you start, the more you'll benefit from compounding growth. The bottom line is simple: Don't gamble your future on a system that's not guaranteed. The age pension is not a backup plan for everyone, it's a means-tested program with strict eligibility rules. If you're not prepared, you could be left with far less than you need to retire comfortably. So if you're still working, now's the time to act. Know your numbers, boost your super, and plan for a future where you can enjoy your retirement, not fear it.